Good morning, everybody. It's Maria. Thank you for joining me today. I just wanted to share with you what I have been making this past few days since I will be traveling soon to see my siblings. I wanted to make some cute tags. This is what I came up with. They are pocket tags, and I use my envelope punch board to create those tabs right there. And of course, my leftover designer series paper from the Sale-A-Bration. These are so pretty, and you can stamp your sentiment over here inside this tag and then even use it as a photo mat. Or you can create these tags for like your mini album and stuff. So I wanted to share how I made this tag and then how I made the flowers. Those stamens are actually tiny roses from Wild Orchid Crafts, and since I have so many of them and I'm not really sure, like this is what it is, and I'm not really sure how to use them in the mini album because they are so tiny, and I thought I'll make them as stamens for my flowers. So that's what's in these flowers right there. And I have die cut some paper leaves from a Lawn Fawn die to create the leaves here, but you can use whatever leaves you have or whatever die you have. And these two flowers, I thought they are so pretty. So if you're interested to see how I made these tags, then please keep watching. The materials that we will need are your designer series paper. This is cut at 3.5 by 7.5. Your lightweight chipboard, and I'm just using a leftover cereal box. This is cut at 3.5 by 5.5. And some other designer series paper to create your flowers. Your stamens, you can get some flowers and just cut it to use as your stamen. You will need another color of designer series paper to create the center of your flowers. You will need the Pansy punch or some other flower punch that you have. It doesn't have to be Stampin' Up. We will need this 1/2-inch circle punch. We will need your piercing mat and your piercing tool that has like a rounded edge. Scissors, punch, and your hot glue gun, and of course, last but not the least, your envelope punch board. The first thing that we will need to do is to punch our designer series paper. As you can see over there, I already marked mine because you need to use the center of this punch right here. And we just need to line up our paper and then punch. And then turn your paper to the other side, line it up again, right in the middle, and then punch. And that's how you get that. And then in order to create the pocket, we need to line up your designer series paper to the 2-inch mark. So I'm just lining it up on the 2-inch mark, and we're gonna punch. And then flip your paper to the other side, line it up again on the 2-inch mark, and then punch. And then we will just have to round the corners using this part of the envelope punch board. And now you need to get, while you still have your envelope punch board, you need to get your lightweight chipboard and do the same thing. And that's what we are going to adhere at the back of your tag just to make it more stable. And this other designer series paper that's going to cover your tag will be punched the same way. Now it's time to adhere. The first thing that we need to do is to fold this pocket. All you have to do is line up both sides like so. You just need to line it up, make sure it's nice and even on both sides. You don't have to score this because sometimes when you score the designer series paper, it just tear the paper, so all you have to do is just line it up and then fold it. Because when I made those other two tags earlier, I actually tore the paper because I scored the paper thinking that it will be easier. It wasn't, so this is just the easiest way to do it. You just fold it. And then if you have a 1/8 of an inch score tape, that's what you need to adhere the sides of your tags, but I don't have any, so I'm just going to use my Tombow. And I'm just going to put just some glue on the edges of my tag, like so, and then fold it back. Now we will adhere the lightweight chipboard on our tag. And then you just need to get your scissors just to cut the edges right there. It's just easier instead of using the punch board again. So that's what I'm doing here. Now I'm using a different designer series paper to cover the back. So you can also use the back as a photo mat, or you can write your sentiment there. And that's the front of our tag. And that's the pocket. See how easy that is? And now we will create the flowers. To create the flowers, you will need your flower punch. This is the Pansy punch from Stampin' Up. So I already cut or punched 4 flowers, 3 of the same kind, and then 1 for your middle. And I already punched it for the sake of time. And you will need your rounded piercing tool so you can break the fibers of your flower by doing this. And once you have that, you just need to line up all your flowers and either use your piercing tool to pierce a hole in the middle or use your punch. And I took 3 of the tiny roses. We're going to use a stamen and we're going to put that in the middle of the flower. But before we do that, we need our hot glue gun. And I'm just offsetting the petals like so. And lining it up with the hole that we just punched earlier. And for this middle piece that I'm using with the stamen, I'm just going to fringe this. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at the back of my flower and just adhere that in the middle. And then we are going to use our stamen. I'm just going to put enough glue right in the center. And then I'm just going to get my 1/2 inch circle punch. Actually, I'm going to get this first and punch a hole. And get my 1/2 circle punch and center it. And then just get my hot glue again. Now once you have that, you can now do your stamen like so. I'm sorry. There you go. I'm just doing this just to create the center of the flower, making sure that it looks like a stamen or something. And I'm just going to get my wire cutter and cut. I think it's really pretty. And if you have the spiral rose die or a spiral flower die, you can do the same thing. For course, if you have a leaf punch, you can punch out 2 leaves, or if you have a leaf die, I'm using the Lawn Fawn leaf die. And I'm just going to use my hot glue once again. Isn't that pretty? I think it's really pretty, and you can create paper flowers too for like a home decor. But that's how the tag looks like in the front with the pocket, and this is how the back looks like. That you can also write your sentiment there, or you can use it as a photo mat. Now, in order to create this as a proper tag, you need your Crop-A-Dile, and I'm just going to eyeball this. Of course, if you would like a tag that will go inside your pocket tag, this tag is actually cut at 2 5/8 by 4 3/4, and we're just going to need your envelope punch board again, and if you would like to just give it more of a dimension, and I'm just getting my Coastal Cabana stamp ink, and I'm just going to sponge the edges of my tag. I'm going to do the same with my tag. And now I'm just going to use this stamp that says Make a Wish, and this is from the Perfect Pennants stamp set from our Spring Mini catalog. And I already stamped one in Coastal Cabana earlier. I'm just going to use my circle punch to punch out that A right there. And I'm just going to use a pop dot. And that's what's going to go in our pocket. And the last thing that I'm going to do now is just to put my ribbon. And that's our finished tag. I might post the craft room tour in the next few days or so, once I'm done organizing the rest of my stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you on my next project. Bye for now.